It's all eyes on Paris this morning as the Paralympic opening ceremony takes place under clear skies along the Champs-Élysées. Close to 160 Australian athletes will be among the more than 4,000 competitors at the Games, which organisers are touting will be the most spectacular in Paralympic history.
Covering it all for us is our very own Charles Bryce, who joins us live from Paris. Charles, bonsoir.
Very good morning to you, Michael. I've only been in Paris for about 24 hours, so I'm still working on my French. I don't want to give a disservice to the French here, but it is amazing to be here. It's perfect conditions, which is quite different to the opening ceremony that we saw just a few weeks ago for the Olympics. It's a balmy 25 degrees here at the moment, and the atmosphere is something else. It is amazing where we are. We're on the Champs-Elysées, just a couple of hundred metres from where all the action is taking place in the opening ceremony. It's taken on quite a different look to the opening ceremony of the Olympics, of course. The athletes there were put on boats and were paraded on the Seine here. Some 6,000 athletes and officials have walked or rolled along the Champs-Élysées and to the Place de la Concorde as well. So some very iconic scenes here at the opening ceremony. Quite fitting as well. Champs-Élysées in Greek mythology is for a place for warriors. So, all of the athletes, the warriors from all around the world, are going to be taking part in competition over the next 10 days. Not all Australian athletes were at the opening ceremony tonight. There were quite a number of athletes that decided to watch the opening ceremony from the Olympic Village. One of those was our very own team captain, Angie Ballard. Now, she's quite a veteran of the Paralympics. She's going into her 7th game. She is starting her competition on the 3rd day. So I spoke with her this morning. She said that she wants to go into her events with the best preparation that she knows how. One person that wasn't staying at the Olympic Village was our very own flag bearer, Madison de Rosario. I spoke with her this morning. She said that she wasn't going to be missing it for the world.
I would have made the decision every single time. Brendan's racing day 1, I'm racing day 2, so we're both a bit early in the program regardless, but it's such an enormous honour and privilege. So I think even though, yes, you're conscious that it has an impact on how you may have to prepare for the race, you kind of just put all those pieces where they need to go and you put a plan together and you get to represent Australia at opening ceremony the best way you can, and then you get to represent Australia the best way you can out on the track 2 days later.
Wonderful. Charles, there's been a massive uptake in ticket sales too.
Yeah, Michael, 2 million of the 2.5 tickets that are on sale have already been sold. So that is just a huge reception for the Paralympics, and it just shows that the Paralympics are on par with the Olympics, and that's not something that we've seen in past events. So speaking with Kate McLaughlin, the chef de mission of the Australian Paralympic team, she said that this Paralympic movement is something else.
That Parisians and so many Australians who've come across here are filling those stadia will be brilliant for the athletes. They can harness that energy from the crowd, and you know, from a Paralympic movement perspective, it just shows how far we've come. The fact that there are so many people willing to pay money to see our incredible athletes is wonderful, and hopefully all Australians back at home will continue to support them as well.
Wonderful. And Charles,
and Michael, that sentiment was... Sorry, Bridget. That sentiment was echoed by Madison de Rosario, who went to her first Paralympics at the age of 14. Has said that there has been such a huge change since her first games, and it is just bringing joy to so many people. And it's going to make a huge difference to the athletes who are competing, those who are competing at the first Paralympics. And also those who debuted at the Tokyo Games are going to be competing in front of probably the biggest crowds that they've had in their career.
Yeah, that's so true, Charles. And talk us through just how much the Paralympics have changed in recent years.
Well, the history goes back to post-World War II, about 1948, and we saw games being played before the London Olympics in the 50s, but The first Games was in 1960. Back then there were 23 countries that were competing, some 400 athletes, and you look at it today, there are nearly 5,000 athletes from right around the world that are coming to the biggest stage to show just how good they are at their discipline, and the ultimate goal, to take home gold.
Charles, très bien. C'est bon.
Merci beaucoup.
I'm not sure what that means.
You work on that next for us. We want it all in French, please. All in French, okay?
Give us some tips too.
Yeah, no worries. I will try.